Alright, here we are. First real video of the channel. Welcome everybody. I am EFA, everyone's favorite asshole, everyone's favorite atheist, and in Alaska, everyone's favorite Alaskan. So, I woke up this morning and I was checking out the news and I came across this. Ken Ham's boat, his stupid little boat, his Ark encounter is failing. It hasn't even been a year yet, and it's already failing. Ken Ham, however, is trying to push back against that narrative for obvious reasons, and he's figured out how he's finally going to do it. And instead of taking responsibility or giving some kind of excuse like it's too soon to see any kind of economic development from this shit, he's blaming us. That's right, the atheists, for the negative publicity. He says, recently, a number of articles in the mainstream media on blogs and on well-known secularist group websites have attempted to spread propaganda to brainwash the public into thinking our Ark encounter attraction is a dismal failure. Sadly, they are influencing business investors and others in such a negative way that they may prevent Grant County, Kentucky from achieving the economic recovery that its officials and residents have been seeking. Oh, I get it, Ken. I get it. It's all our fault. Your God was so damn powerless to stop a bunch of stupid atheists from talking shit and explaining to people the logical fallacies of your silly little boat and how it could hold all those animals, and they just came from everywhere, like kangaroos from Australia and penguins from Antarctica, and they all came to the Middle East to get on your boat because God was gonna flood the world. Right. Ham pointed out some valid concerns about an article in the Lexington Herald Leader. Reporter Linda Blackford quoted an owner of Snack Shack, Matt Griffith, who said customers hadn't been coming in like he had hoped. In fact, we were told it closed down for 3 months over the winter, presumably because of that low attendance. Ham, however, got in touch with Griffith because he couldn't have people spreading lies, and he says, very interesting that she put down that we were closed because... I sound retarded. Very interesting that she put down that we were closed because that was something she had asked me about. I explained it was due to sewer lines needing to be replaced, so I guess she somewhat skewed that. That's no small mistake on the reporter's end, but notice there's no denial of Griffith's statement that those hordes have not yet appeared. Another person Blackford quoted was Bren Murphy, a coffee shop owner who said Ark visitors don't get to her shop, but in a Facebook post, Ham cites that Murphy said the Ark doesn't bear all the blame. Since opening in October 2016, I have had a flow of visitors. My Ken Ham impression is terrible, by the way. Since opening in 2016, I have had a wonderful flow of visitors, with approximately 4% of my recorded sales being from Ark visitors. This is not the Ark's fault. It is not the city's fault. It is all of our faults. So for doing what is necessary to make the right now changes that need to be made so that everyone wins. So maybe the Ark isn't, entirely to blame, but it's not helping in a huge way either. Basically, the Ark is fleecing the city of Williamstown and Grant County. If you don't understand what that means, it means they're basically overcharging and swindling these people just to make a buck. And of course, they're going to get more visitors over the summer as, people do more traveling and stuff. Mostly probably road trips, I would imagine, to bumfuck Kentucky. But it's still the rest of the year, outside of that, where we'll really have to find out if there's, something to their attendance numbers. And that's just one measure of success. You still have to account for all the other businesses in the areas that might be getting money trickling down off of the extra visitors coming to see the stupid little boat. And a lot of business owners are saying that that's not the case. There are still planned hotels and restaurants, but until those are filled to capacity, who the fuck knows if that'll even be a worthwhile investment. And let's be honest, a few places getting a few more customers really isn't anything to celebrate. None of that justifies the $100 million it took to build this stupid fucking thing. But Ham's still blaming his critics. Why so many lies and misinformation? Simply because we are in a spiritual battle and the intolerant secularists are so upset with such world-class attraction like the Ark and the Creation Museum that publicly proclaim a Christian message. They will resort to whatever tactics they deem necessary to try and malign the attractions. Well, Ken, we don't really need to make up any kind of reasons or propaganda or spread lies. I mean, the pictures on your exhibit and your own words prove more than enough for people with even half a brain to understand that you are spreading lies. The Ark encounter, the whole Ark story, it's not only is it not just a Christian story, I mean, it's been plagiarized from religions and communities before that. It's still a little early to determine whether or not the Ark encounter will have been worthwhile economically for nearby counties. Now, Ken Ham, you can blame atheists all that you want, but you and your people promised the good folks of Williamstown and Grant County and the surrounding communities that there would be an economic boom, this would bring money in, that this would be good for the community, and you get tourists to all come out and see your stupid little boat. And it's not even close, Ken. I know you're never going to change your mind, because nothing ever could. But even here, you gotta admit, I mean, it's kind of bullshit. I mean, you want to blame atheists for your stupid failure of your boat, but it's really on you. I mean, it really is. So thanks everybody for joining me on this inaugural video of my channel now. You can follow me on Twitter at EFA907, that's OH, not 907, 907. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at EOR Podcast. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel. Leave some comments down below. All the famous YouTube stuff. And I'll see you next time.